What if I told you that the secret to earning true respect lies not in what you do, but in what you stop doing? Respect isn't about grand gestures or fancy words. It's about the habits you cultivate and, more importantly, the ones you leave behind. Today, we're diving deep into 10 habits that silently sabotage your reputation and make it harder for people to truly respect you. So, grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and stick with me, because these insights are going to challenge the way you think about respect, not just from others but from yourself as well. By the end of this, you'll have a clear roadmap to live a life of integrity, authenticity, and strength. And trust me, the last point we'll discuss might just change your perspective forever. Are you ready? 1. Stop overlooking self-respect. Let's start with the foundation of respect, self-respect. You see, respect begins from within. If you don't value yourself, how can you expect others to value you? Self-respect is more than just saying, "I'm worth it." It's a daily practice that shows up in your actions, decisions, and boundaries. For instance, how often do you let people take advantage of your time or energy because you feel guilty saying no? Or how often do you skip prioritizing your own well-being because you're too busy pleasing others? When you respect yourself, you set boundaries that protect your peace and energy. You stop tolerating things that drain you or make you feel less than. For example, have you ever admired someone who always stands firm in their decisions even when it's inconvenient? That's self-respect in action, and it's magnetic. Start small. Commit to doing one thing today that prioritizes your well-being. Maybe it's taking a short walk, saying no to a favor you don't have time for, or spending 15 minutes on a hobby you love. When you consistently show your self-respect, others will follow suit. Remember, people mirror how you treat yourself. If you don't respect your own boundaries, why should they? Self-respect isn't selfish. It's the foundation of a fulfilling, respected life. 2. Stop blaming others for your problems. Blame. It's an easy habit to fall into, isn't it? When life doesn't go our way, we instinctively point fingers at the people around us, our coworkers, family, circumstances, or even luck. But here's the truth. Blaming others doesn't solve your problems. It only shifts the responsibility away from you, and in doing so, it chips away at your credibility and respect. Let's look at it from another perspective. Imagine a leader who constantly blames their team for failures. Would you respect them? Now imagine a leader who takes accountability, even when it's not entirely their fault. Which one earns your respect? Exactly. The difference is ownership. The moment you stop blaming others, you step into a position of power. You're no longer a victim of your circumstances. You're the one in control. The Stoics believed in focusing only on what you can control. When you embrace this mindset, you stop wasting energy on external factors and start finding solutions. The next time you're tempted to blame someone else, pause. Ask yourself, what could I have done differently? Or what can I do now to fix this? This shift in mindset is transformative. It not only earns you respect, but also makes you a more resilient and capable person. Remember, respect comes from accountability. People admire those who take charge of their lives, not those who pass the buck. Start owning your actions today and watch how the world responds. 3. Stop neglecting your personal values. Your values are like a compass. They guide your decisions and define who you are. But what happens when you ignore that compass? You lose your way, and worse, you lose respect. Have you ever been in a situation where you went against what you truly believed in just to fit in or avoid conflict? How did that feel? Probably not great, right? Living in alignment with your values is one of the most powerful ways to earn respect. Think about someone you admire. Chances are they stand firm in their beliefs, even when it's inconvenient or unpopular. That consistency creates trust, and trust is the cornerstone of respect. On the flip side, when you compromise your values, whether it's lying to cover up a mistake or staying silent when you should speak up, you send the message that your principles aren't worth much. The Stoics taught us to live in harmony with our virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. These aren't just lofty ideals. They're practical tools for earning respect. For example, if honesty is one of your values, practice it even when it's hard. If kindness matters to you, extend it to everyone, not just those who are kind to you. Take a moment today to reflect on your values. Write them down and ask yourself, am I living in alignment with these values? If the answer is no, don't worry. It's never too late to course correct. The more you live in alignment with your principles, the more respect you'll command, both from others and from yourself. 4. Stop breaking your promises. Promises are sacred. They're not just words. They're commitments that reflect your character. Every time you break a promise, no matter how small, you lose a little bit of trust. And once trust is gone, respect isn't far behind. Think about it. How often have you told someone, "I'll call you back," or "I'll take care of it," and then didn't follow through? Now imagine being on the receiving end of that. How would you feel? Keeping your promises, no matter how small, is one of the simplest yet most impactful ways to earn respect. When you say you'll do something and you actually do it, you send a powerful message. I am reliable. You can count on me. But when you don't, you risk being seen as careless or untrustworthy. If you find yourself struggling to keep promises, start by making fewer of them. It's better to say no up front than to overcommit and let someone down later. And if you ever have to break a promise, own up to it. Apologize sincerely and make it right if you can. People respect honesty and accountability far more than excuses. Remember, trust is built one small promise at a time. So the next time you commit to something, follow through. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Over time, this habit will not only strengthen your relationships, but also solidify your reputation as someone who deserves respect. 5. Stop chasing superficial validation. We live in a world that thrives on external validation. Social media, likes, compliments, awards, they all feel good in the moment, don't they? But here's the problem. When you depend on external validation for your self-worth, you give away your power. You're essentially saying, my value depends on what others think of me. The Stoics had a different approach. They believed in focusing on internal validation, living in alignment with your values and doing what's right, regardless of who's watching. When you stop chasing superficial validation, you free yourself from the exhausting need to impress others. Instead, you become someone who acts with purpose and integrity, which naturally earns respect. Think about it. Who do you respect more? The person constantly seeking attention, or the one quietly doing their work with excellence? The latter, right? That's because confidence and self-assurance are far more compelling than the need for approval. The next time you find yourself craving validation, pause. Ask yourself, am I doing this because it's meaningful to me, or because I want someone else's approval? Focus on the former. When you build your self-worth from within, respect follows naturally. 6. Stop surrounding yourself with disrespectful people. The people you surround yourself with play a significant role in shaping your self-image and how others perceive you. If you constantly tolerate disrespect from friends, family, or colleagues, you're sending a message, not just to them but also to yourself, that you don't deserve better. And here's the harsh truth. People treat you the way you allow them to. Imagine being in a group where people belittle your ideas, ignore your boundaries, or take advantage of your kindness. How does that feel? Probably draining and demoralizing. Now think about how your self-respect dwindles over time in such an environment. This is why it's crucial to carefully evaluate your relationships. Are the people around you uplifting, respectful, and supportive? Or are they toxic, negative, and dismissive? Choosing to walk away from disrespectful relationships isn't easy, especially if those people have been in your life for a long time. But it's necessary. By setting boundaries and prioritizing relationships that respect your worth, you'll not only protect your peace, but also command more respect from others. People will see that you don't tolerate disrespect, and they'll be less likely to cross your boundaries. Surround yourself with individuals who inspire, support, and challenge you to be better. Respect is contagious. When you're in the company of respectful people, you naturally adopt those traits, and others will treat you with the same level of regard. 7. Stop letting anger control you. Anger is a powerful emotion, but when it controls you, It can destroy relationships and erode respect. Have you ever regretted saying or doing something in the heat of the moment? Most of us have. Anger clouds your judgment and often leads to actions or words you wish you could take back. The Stoics believed in mastering emotions, and anger was no exception. They taught that while we can't control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. Letting anger control you is like giving away your power. It allows others or situations to dictate your behavior. When you feel anger rising, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this reaction helpful? Will it solve the problem or make it worse? Often, just a moment of reflection can prevent a regrettable outburst. Channel your anger into productive action. Instead of lashing out, use it as motivation to address the root of the issue calmly and rationally. People respect those who remain composed under pressure. It shows emotional intelligence, strength, and self-control. So the next time you feel anger bubbling up, remember, the strongest person in the room is the one who stays calm. 8. Stop reacting emotionally to criticism. Criticism can sting, but it's also one of the greatest opportunities for growth, if you handle it well. The way you respond to criticism says a lot about your character. Reacting defensively or emotionally not only diminishes your credibility, but also makes it harder for people to respect you. Let's face it, no one enjoys being criticized. But when you view criticism as feedback rather than a personal attack, you take away its power to hurt you. Instead of reacting with anger or denial, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, is there any truth in this feedback? How can I use it to improve? The Stoics believed in viewing challenges, including criticism, as opportunities to strengthen oneself. When you respond to criticism with grace and composure, you demonstrate maturity and resilience, qualities that naturally command respect. It's also okay to acknowledge when criticism is unwarranted. Not all feedback is valid, and not all critics have your best interests at heart. In such cases, stay calm and let your actions speak louder than their words. Respect isn't about being perfect. It's about handling imperfections with dignity and strength. 9. Stop speaking without thinking. Words are powerful. They can build bridges or burn them down. But too often, we speak without thinking, only to regret it later. Whether it's a careless comment, an unnecessary argument, or a thoughtless remark, unfiltered speech can damage your relationships and reputation. The Stoics valued measured speech. They believed in speaking only when necessary and ensuring that their words were thoughtful, truthful, and kind. Before you say something, ask yourself 3 questions. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If the answer to any of these is no, it's better to remain silent. Think about someone whose words carry weight. It's likely not because they talk a lot, but because they speak with intention. Their words matter because they're thoughtful and impactful. You can be that person. Practice pausing before you speak, especially in emotionally charged situations. A moment of reflection can save you from regret and help you communicate more effectively. When you speak thoughtfully, people listen. They value your input and see you as someone who respects both themselves and others. This simple habit of thinking before speaking can dramatically improve your relationships and the respect you receive. 10. Stop seeking approval from everyone. Lastly, let go of the need to seek approval from everyone. It's impossible to please everyone, and trying to do so only drains your energy and diminishes your authenticity. The truth is, not everyone will like you, and that's okay. What matters is that you're true to yourself and your values. The Stoics understood this well. They taught that we should focus on doing what's right, not what's popular. When you stop seeking approval, you free yourself from the pressure of living up to others' expectations. Instead, you live with purpose and integrity, which naturally earns respect. Think about someone you respect deeply. Chances are, they don't bend over backward to gain approval. Instead, they're confident in who they are and what they stand for. That confidence is magnetic. The next time you find yourself craving someone's approval, Pause. Ask yourself, am I doing this for me or for them? Choose yourself. When you stop chasing validation, you'll find that respect follows naturally. People admire those who are authentic and unapologetically themselves. Respect isn't something you demand. It's something you earn by living with integrity, self-awareness, and purpose. By letting go of these 10 habits, you'll not only gain respect from others, but also deepen your respect for yourself. Which of these points resonated with you the most? Let me know in the comments, and remember, respect starts with you. So take the first step today. If this video inspired you, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Together, let's create a world where respect is earned, not demanded.